the role that Barack Obama played, as well as his government in Nigeria. Somebody came on and they commented and said, I don't know if you are watching or you that person, I can't remember your name, because I know the comment is probably gone now. I wish I had I picked on your name somehow so that I could possibly just use you as an example. Hang on, let me see if I can get the comments right. Give me a sec. Okay. Your claims about American sabotage of the security situation in Nigeria is false at best. Nigeria does not serve any geopolitical interest for the United States. You have no evidence to buttress your claims. What would they gain by sabotaging Nigeria's security? I beg, make una blame una leaders for the state of your country and nobody else. Because there are so many people who felt that way. He said, I had no evidence when the evidence abound. I have evidence to show that the American government under Barack Obama interfered in Nigeria political process in order to have an end predetermined result, which they finally got. And that end predetermined result is to truncate whatever progress Nigeria was making, because these are facts. These are not conjectures. They are not things made up. They are facts. They may be hard for you to accept. So what then is their gain? Well, let me ask you, what is the gain of America attacking Libya, NATO attacking Libya, taking out Muammar Gaddafi, when they knew that the same Libya, once Libya fell, it is going to jeopardize the entire region, which is what happened. And Barack Obama came out and said, Libya was one of the greatest mistakes of his presidency. But why did they attack Libya? Libya was peaceful. Terrorism that you are witnessing today in West Africa, from the North Africa to West Africa, they never existed this much. But what did Americans do? America under Obama went on to say Muammar Gaddafi was accused of human rights abuses. So Libyans needed freedom and democracy. So afterward, what happened to Libya? So if you think a stable, organized, and progressing Nigeria somehow is or was not, I wouldn't say a threat to them, okay? Because you may never really know why they had to do it. But there are instances, there are some pieces of information that can help you understand what happened. Obama's America approached some West African countries, not just West African, well, African countries. And this was like about 12, 13 years ago. This is not just yesterday now, like 13 years ago, where they were pushing their LGBTQ agenda. And categorically, Nigeria rejected that. Now, you can call that conspiracy, but what you should never try to do is to deny some evidence of their involvement, their collusion in bringing APC, Egbekegbe, to power. Yeah, you may be right that blame your leaders, I don't see them as leaders, I see them as their puppets. But there's a guy called Axelrod. Axelrod was Obama's campaign manager or thereabout, a very senior member of Change campaign for Obama. Right? So when they concluded on, Jonathan, right? It was time just to go for the opposition. A regime change in Nigeria was to happen. Axelrod became the consultant advisor to APC, Egbekegbe, the terrorist party. John Kerry then was the Secretary of State to Abi. What was John Kerry to Obama then? Secretary of State also. John Kerry traveled from the US, traveled down to Nigeria, and he went straight into the House Rock to threaten the same Jonathan that, listen, that election must hold. It must. If any other postponement will bring more sanction to Nigeria. And that's not just that. Nigeria was battling with Boko Haram terrorists, right? And it is on record that America was supposed to actually help Nigeria. So what did Obama do? He placed a sanction on Nigeria. So what do you mean by, well, I have no evidence? So what will be your name, Seth? Man. So mad, a country like Nigeria was fighting terrorists that were bombing left, right, and center at the time. Nigeria needed all the support it could get, Abi. But it was around that time, go. Obama said they must stop selling weapons to Nigeria. Our embargo on Nigeria. Nigeria went to South Africa in what was supposed to be country to country sort of a trade, but we were in the black market or something like that. And then South Africa, that agreed to sell weapons to Nigeria, suddenly changed their mind and arrested the people who came to pay for it. So that is figment of my imagination. Show why, meaning. Yeah. Yeah, you may be right on the part of your leaders should be blamed this or that. No, well, about that the what do you call it? The coalition from the people who are supposed to be the most powerful country in the world that should be helping Nigeria. So they truncated Nigeria's safety, Nigeria's security. Obama did all of that. So I don't give a damn about how you feel about Obama. But that is a fact. That happened. And that's what you call the regime change, when this one is not playing ball, another one will play ball. That's how it works. Even though the same Jonathan was I don't know if he was a darling, but in 2011, okay, when the Yaradua Kaba would never allow Jonathan to take office. Well, behind the scene, I don't have evidence of that, but I think I do. On the part where Goodluck Egbekegbe Jonathan was in Washington, sometimes in 2013, before they finally got rid of him. And he was thanking Obama. I think I even have that clip. Wait. When he met with Obama. So he said it himself, how they helped him, and then how others. It is so ironical, by the way, right? Egbekegbe Jonathan was vice president, okay? And Yaradua was dead for like a week, but they didn't announce that he is dead. But before he died, they already used all the means to fence Jonathan out, okay? Until when Dora Akunyili and others within the government, right? Oruma Ote and the rest of them like that, right? Until they protested and decided that they were going to go public, because they don't even see the person that appointed them as ministers now anymore. They don't even see him physically. Like, you get that they either declared Yaradua dead, or they will do it. On the outer side, the likes of Tifnumbu and Co., they were organizing the civil society group to be protesting that Jonathan must be made president. I mean, if you remember, I don't know how old you are, but at least those of you who are old enough will remember this played out, right? This was in 2010. So in 2011, the same privilege, to the point that the same Jonathan met with Tifnumbu before the 2011 election. As much as Tifnumbu was pushing Ribadump as his candidate, Tifnumbu was also meeting with Jonathan, who is the presidential candidate of PDP. And twice he was lifted from Lagos to Abuja to go and meet Jonathan inside the Aso Rock in the dead of the night on their 2011 deal. And that was when Tifnumbu got the idea of he can be president. Like, with this caliber of people here holding this power, man, I can be president too. That was the moment the idea of him hoping that he can be president of Nigeria started from. The weakness of Jonathan and all of that. So you get. So how the whole thing now changed is politics, you would say, right? Because those who were shouting Jonathan in 2010, by 2012, they were on the streets occupying Nigeria because the same Jonathan removed their subsidy. And since then, it has been a downward spiral for Jonathan. But he was in Washington in 2013, after the protest of 2012, where he was thanking Obama. But unfortunately, he rejected this gay rights, gay bill, gay this and that. And I think that same 2013 was when he signed, no, hang on, I think he signed the deal in 2013. He signed the homosexuality law, which got the Obamas of this world completely enraged. So here is a clip of him in 2013 with Obama.
With that, Mr. President.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Since after we're meeting for the first time after the elections, even though I sent a letter, I would like to formally congratulate you for the electoral victory. And thank you for inviting me and my team to intervene with you today before the UN General Assembly discussions tomorrow. Nigeria and US have been natural allies, and the relations have been very strong, and it's beyond the interests of Nigeria and the United States of America alone. Well, in terms of Nigeria and the United States of America, Nigeria, of course, is the second largest economy in Africa, the most populated African state. About 20% of Africans are in Nigeria. So it's the largest trading partner of the United States of America and the continent of Africa. So it's a key country, and we sharing that relationship between America and Nigeria. And just like America is, of course, it's a strong country in terms of global peace and security, the biggest economy. Nigeria play big at the African level, the second largest economy, but in terms of peace and security, in fact, it's the #1 country to stabilize West Africa and the rest of Africa. So the relationship between these two countries is very, very dear, not just to America and Nigeria, but to West Africa and the rest of Africa. And I always say that for you to fix the world, you must fix Africa. And for you to fix Africa, you have to fix Nigeria. And if you don't fix Nigeria, then you lost it. You must fix Nigeria, because that's the highest concentration of blacks and the globe. For this meeting, it will be fruitful, because just like President Barack Obama said, the whole world is facing challenges, economic issues, but especially the security issues. Just mentioned about the incident that happened in Kenya. During Obama's express condolences and sympathy for what happened. Because we have experienced us recently, and we still experience in Nigeria. So I feel the pains of President Kenyatta to get that level of attack, that dastardly attack. And that is why we maintain that terror anywhere in the world is terror on all of us. And we call on the global leaders to come together and fight terror. And until we all agree to wipe out terror all over the world will continue to embarrass this act of violence. Sometimes you don't know whether people are really safe to do what they are doing. Nigeria will continue to cooperate with America to solve our problems, continental problems, of course, and also the problems of the world. And that is one of the reasons we believe that today, at the end of our discussions, we will be quite pleased, because we know that America has been supporting us, especially this recent terror attack on us by the Boko Haram. But we will need even more support, because collectively we'll be able to solve the problem. If Nigeria alone is allowed, without the support of the external community, it will take us a longer period. The shorter period, the better to protect human lives. So once again, I thank you, Mr. President, for this invitation. We're quite grateful for that, and we'll be able to discuss these key issues, the economic issues, the security issues. And I have to commend you on the Power Africa initiative, and also the Young Leaders, African Young Leaders Initiative. And somehow we think alike, because in Nigeria we have 3 products about young people. One we call YOWIN, another one called the Nanopreneurs, that focus on encouraging young graduates to go into agriculture for us to produce the middle manpower that are the drivers of the economy. And we give them grants to establish farms, different firms, you win the right proposals, and give them grants between $10,000 to $90,000 to establish small businesses. So we want young people to think about how they will employ themselves, not to wait for employment to come from bigger corporate bodies or governments. And of course, the Power Africa initiative is quite commendable. Of course, you know that presently Nigeria is privatizing our power infrastructure. I think some of the American companies, CBN or so, quite a number of them are quite involved. And so far, we have privatized about 3 billion assets, 3 billion worth of assets. And it's one of the most successful privatizations that we have ever done. Sometimes people talk about, oh, Nigeria could really do it correctly. But just like you mentioned about elections, our privatization program at over 3 billion, and we're still going on. So far, there are no stories at all. We are doing this based on the global best practice. And let me commend America again for the assistance they gave us during the 2011 election. I did mention that even though I was contesting that election, I'll make sure that the elections were done transparently. In most cases, Nigerian elections are very, very controversial. Even the one that brought me in as the vice president then was very, very controversial. Even at the level of the Supreme Court, out of the 7 justices, 4 were for failed elections, 3 were against the elections. Narrowly, elections would have been annulled. But 2011 elections, in the appeal court, the 5 justices said that elections were fair and fair. When it was appealed to the Supreme Court, the 7 justices said that elections were fair and fair. And everybody, both local and international observers, said that from 1960 that Nigeria gained independence, the 2011 elections are the best. And we promise to keep faith with that. We'll continue to even improve on that, because we believe that one thing to make sure that you don't encourage wrongdoing, whether corruption, nepotism, or whatever, is to make sure that people elect those who represent them. And I promise Nigerians that.
That's Egbekegbe. Well, he's gone now. He's made peace with himself, while the people he claimed their blood, their blood was not worthy of being spilled for his own political agenda. Thousands, hundreds of thousands of them have now been killed by the same lunatics, the murderers, the terrorists in the APC, Egbekegbe. And the rest is history today. You know, somebody was telling me there that it is fake news that Libya has no central government. I was like, it is, don't mind those fake news. That person said, loud comedy or something. I've been a comedy. You must be joking though, right? So you live in Libya. Amazing. There is no central, that's established. There is no, since the death of, since the end of Gaddafi, Libya has become it's like a death trap, especially for you who is black. So it is a place where we are not just saying, we have evidence of people being locked up in cages and being sold as slaves. So if somebody says he lives in Libya and that is a fake news, maybe you are fake. Maybe you are the fake one. They have destroyed Nigeria. Nigeria has become economically destroyed enough that to recruit terrorists in Nigeria, to recruit fighters, for terrorists to recruit fighters, it has become a pastime. A video was shared by the Nigeria military, by the way, yesterday. And it's about a young boy that is a young terrorist recruited by Boko Haram. And yeah, he was caught and he was kind of like giving details of what really happened. I mean, how he became a fighter, from what age. Then he displayed how to take out the gun and put it back together, and aim, and all of that. These are also the legacies of what the APC, Egbekegbe, what they brought upon Nigeria. Watch this.
Marcas
yamma da a jiki a gefen borno ne ko gefen adamawa okay kace ka gaya mana cewa ana koya muku bindiga suwa da wa suke koya muku bindiga
mutane
su biyar za ka yi kira mana sunayen
Ali,
Shehu,
Umar,
uku,
Alhaji Shehu,
Malam Oro.
su ne su biyar din.
Okay, su biyar suke koya muku bindiga. Kuna da yawa ne da suke koya muku bindiga?
Za mu ga mu 30 ko 20.
Dukan ku yara irin sayunka ko kuma wanda suka girme ka, wanda kake girme su?
Sa'a na dai kamar ni, kamar na gaba da ni.
Kamar kai
ma kaɗan.
Okay, na kasa da kai kaɗan, sayunka da kuma na gaba da kai. Wurin jeji ne ko kuma gari? Jeji ne wurin? Yanzu aka baka bindiga aka ce ka warware, za ka yi warware?
Zan yi.
Za ka iya? To shi kenan ba shi bindiga mu gani ko shi.
Ya wanda ka iya iyaka ba da mu gani.
Yanzu yi maka tambaya mana. Dubi bakin bindigan nan. Me suka koya muku cewa shine aikin wannan gefe?
Wajen harbi ne, duk abin da za ka harba in ka sashi a nan sa ka samu.
In ka sa ina?
A nan. In ka duba shi haka. Ka sashi a tsakiyar nan za ka buga.
Yanzu za ka harbi wannan kwadon nan, za ka harbi nan, ka gwada mun gani. To shi kenan ka aje shi. Aje shi. Ka iya bude wannan? Bude shi mu gani, cicire shi mu gani. Yayi sassaka su sake same da su.
Young boy, trained fighter for the terrorists, and there are thousands of them like that across the north. Thousands, and this is the legacy of APC, Egbekegbe, and what they have done to Nigeria. The moment the Sahel states, Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, Chad, the moment they said the French should leave, that in itself has now escalated the the level of terrorism in the Sahel right now. But no joke, like it is like everyday war right now. The terrorists are so sophisticated. They have like a modern warfare weapons. Yeah, surface to air rocket launchers where they can shoot down a fighter jet, shoot down a passenger jet in the sky. Terrorists too, who were just like gun for hire or kind of like scattered guns before. Now they are so organized in the Sahel. They are recruiting people. Like they are recruiting more. The poorer these countries have become, the easier it has become to recruit terrorist fighters or to recruit fighters by the terrorists. Nigeria is their end goal.